So I am Reverend Michelle Sprinter-Brown, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all here this morning to the Hummingbird Assembly. We are a group of people who will teach each other to find the miracle of joyful living from life circumstance to accomplish that which seems impossible. And each week we gather to create connection, stimulate thought, and expand consciousness. I'm going to go through our announcements. Some of them are quite different this week. This is where that excited, scared part comes in. Maybe. So the regular announcements are, we continue to have our white and green box over on the side table. The green box, in my opinion, is the most important. This is where I ask you to make suggestions about what you would like to discuss. This is your assembly, so I would like for it to be relevant to you. We will be continuing our ongoing discussion of the 20 universal laws, but if something comes up for you that's a little bit more important, we can always come back to this list because they're universal laws, they're not going anywhere. The white box is where we invite you to make donations to help us fund the ongoing costs of a growing church. And let me tell you, we have some expansion plans. It's part of what we are talking about here today. You'll notice, if you look over on the table, there is now a red box. We have disbanded our starting board, and we are now ready to build. So in that box, you will find nomination forms, and you are invited to nominate yourself or others to the Hummingbird Assembly's Board of Directors. The positions that we are seeking to fill are Vice President, General Secretary, Treasurer, and then 3 to 5 General Director positions. Beside the box is a piece of paper that outlines the expectations of each of those roles, so that if you want to nominate yourself or someone else, you understand what you're getting you/them into. We will meet every month, and we'll meet on the first Sunday of the month. We will meet here in the Fantastic Cafe following gathering so that it can flow nicely into your life. Should you wish to be a part. So we ask you to list out the name of the person you are nominating, the position you are nominating them for, and a little explanation as to why. We will collect all of these nominations, and then on Sunday, February 19th, we will be having our first ever annual general meeting where we will elect our new board. Next to the sheet where it outlines the positions, there is an RSVP form. We are inviting all members of the Hummingbird Assembly to our annual general meeting. We need to know how many of you are coming because we are providing lunch. So it's helpful to us to know if there are only going to be 5 people and not 30, so you have less sandwiches. Or 30 people and not 5, so that we have enough sandwiches. So please do, you have time. February 19th is 4 weeks away, so you don't have to nominate yourself today. You don't have to commit to being at that meeting today, but think about it and explore how you might like to continue help the Hummingbird Assembly to grow. Yeah, so that's my like scary excitement then. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, so on that note then, let us begin with our opening intention. May I come to understand that blessings are everywhere, that my attitude will affect outcomes, that challenges are often gifts in disguise. May I come to trust that most things can get better with time, that my instincts and gut feelings have value, and that a positive attitude makes things go smoother. May I come to see that I have many skills and talents I can use, that I am a positive influence on many people, and that there are those around me who wish me well. May I come to value that today is a blessing to be enjoyed, that each person is unique and important, and that each moment of my life has meaning. Okay, so last week we only managed to get through one universal law, but it was a mighty good discussion. So today we are looking at law number 6, the Law of Bodhisattva. I still remember how to say it. So I'm going to first define for you in a very loose way what Bodhisattva is. It is a person who is able to reach nirvana, but delays doing so out of compassion in order to save the suffering of other people. Okay. So the law of Bodhisattva. It means one who has transcended the need of earthly incarnations, but who has chosen to return to the earth to support others in achieving enlightenment. A bodhisattva knows that he will never really be free until all souls are free. Most serious students of metaphysics have entered into the bodhisattva development stage of their evolution. So that is the law as it is written. Shall I read that again?
Yes, please.
The law of Bodhisattva means one who has transcended the need of earthly incarnations, but who has chosen to return to the earth to support others in achieving enlightenment. A bodhisattva knows he will never really be free until all souls are free. Most serious students of metaphysics have entered the bodhisattva development stage of their evolution.
Would that refer to people like Gandhi or Mother Teresa?
I would think so, yes. Sai Baba, who would be your most recent incarnation that I can think of.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
It's okay. He's just someone who's passed now. He died 2.5 years ago. But he was absolutely a bodhisattva. If you were to Google him, you would, there are centers open, the Sai Baba centers of enlightenment and education and love, really. Yeah.
So when it said serious students of metaphysics are on their, tracing their journey, their path.
Have entered the bodhisattva development stage.
So they've gone through all their life lessons that they've come here for, and now they're...
Interesting.
Is that what you...
I don't really know what it means. I thought that perhaps, you know how I talk about you're not your story?
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps these people don't disassociate from their story because they use their experience to help people through their pain. Maybe?
So it could be like this is their last time coming back with their own lessons, and they're kind of learning that, and then when they come back again, maybe they'll...
I don't know that it even speaks to incarnation.
I think that as we evolve, so whatever has happened in life that has brought us awakening, so we consciously are now choosing to be more of the spiritual, more of the metaphysical, in a more of an enlightened consciousness, that we then become more aware of the we, of the larger we, because it isn't just about me anymore.
Right.
So at first, it certainly is about me.
Yeah.
Me and my pain. But as we heal and are led to different paths that takes us to those places, then it becomes, well, if I can have healed certain things within myself, how do I now reach out to help bring others,
right,
or to help guide them? So I think that then takes us to a higher level of consciousness, and not that we're Gandhi, anything like that. Maybe at some point, right? But it's a part of our evolution as the student of metaphysics, because it's no longer just about ourselves. It's about how can we improve the conditions of others? How can we just reach out, and you can only bring them to where you are in a sense and help them along on their path. But there are so many who aren't where you are.
Right.
Even though you think there's so many more ahead of you, but
I feel like we should have talked about the law of oneness before we talked about this one, but we haven't. And I think that's really what you're speaking to, right? That we are all interconnected. And in the law of harmony, we talk about that, the ripples, and a rock is thrown into a pond, you disturb the harmony of the pond, you are the cause, and the effect is the splash and the ripples that flow back and out until harmony is restored. So maybe it's not really connected to that. Yeah, but we are, I think understanding that as what one experiences is what we all experience, is what invites people to move out of that selfish sort of victim space, right?
Well, you realize that you visually can see that there's other people, but it's just it's more than just me. And so when you have opportunities of traveling, even if it's just in your own country, traveling to different communities, traveling to different cultures within the communities, and that we're all people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certainly experiences that are different. But so why, because I was raised partially in the United States, in the southern part of the States. You certainly learn racism.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, and I was just thinking of exactly what started happening yesterday at the border, right?
Yeah.
And how like devastating and traumatic it is for the global humanity. Like,
but I don't talk too much about Trump, but he certainly is creating an awakening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a reason of consciousness. For some people, of course, are angry. There's a variety of different things, but they may not be able to package it how we might see it. But at some point, possibly they get through the anger and they see it as the compassion for others.
one
It's
can
not just
hope.
the anger.
He's stirring up things where people have to step up because they can't tolerate. They recognize they don't follow his path, but he draws them out, right? Stand up and reach out.
Look at the thousands of women that have stood up to march.
Yeah.
He's definitely provoking some good. There's no doubt about that when I look at what's going on.
There's much greater unity than we've seen in some time.
Absolutely.
He's that catalyst for change.
Yeah.
I always figured the catalyst for change would be something more beautiful, though.
True.
But it can
It
result
wouldn't
in
stir
more
us. the same
All
way.
change is beautiful.
Yeah.
But my
All change what?
is beautiful. Beautiful.
All change is beautiful, but I'm not sure that all methods. I don't know. I know you didn't say methods, but I'm just thinking, like, how can we apply that statement to these poor people who are trapped in airports?
The road to the change. It's not necessarily a smooth, lovely road.
Yeah.
Right. It can be very bumpy and quite ugly.
Yeah.
And some of us need the brick to fall on our head.
Absolutely.
To see the bigger picture of be it our life or the lives of the larger issue. Not everyone is, has that smoothness going through their consciousness or through their life. So sometimes you need a schmuck in the head. Not that you want them to have it that
No.
way, but
But sometimes what we want is irrelevant.
yeah. Because if we spend all our time in peace, love, grooving, oming our life away, or oming in our existence, we're not really living life. Because I can create a bubble around me and my world, and I certainly like living in my bubble.
But then we go back to this idea of Bodhisattva, right? And Sai Baba, the last living real avatar that I could point to, well, maybe Amana, but, very insulated. And so perhaps that is not, I don't know, I'm thinking about so many things. But to come back to the law, just bring it back to the point. A bodhisattva knows he will never be free until all souls are free.
Mm-hmm. That's the big piece there, I think. For
Yeah.
each of us to recognize.
Yeah.
So when you talk about, I think in part of that statement, it talks about the students, say, others recognizing the bodhisattva, and they start learning it, or they're new to it. It's where we'll all come to that point, I think, where we recognize that it's not just about us, that we've got to work with everyone, bringing everyone along with us.
Yeah. And so to that idea, do we do it in peace and love and own? Or do we do it in protest?
I think we have to do it with love, regardless of whether we protest or not. The basis of what we're doing has to come from love. As we know, there's only fear and love. So if we're doing it out of fear, the vibration is not going to be, the outcome of that vibration is not going to be what we want. We have to come from a place of love, regardless of whether we're protesting or owning our life.
And who are you going to help when you're doing it out of fear?
Exactly.
Nobody. Not even yourself. Well, I think also you can't help but feel the love when you're looking at the picture of how many people protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Look around. All of these women are in the same space, no matter what, same headspace. You can't help but feel like, oh my God, amazing,
Yeah.
right?
It's overwhelming.
We're watching the video, the live feeds of people protesting at JFK for those 4 people who are being held in customs. Like,
So they're recognizing that they're not free.
it
I'm
evokes,
not free if those people aren't free.
sorry?
So it recognizes that all those people protesting or speaking are recognizing that they aren't free.
Because those other people.
Yeah. There's a lot here, Jeannie.
Don't be sorry, something needs to release.
I think you probably have to find the perfect balance between outside influence versus inside influence.
Explore.
I mean, where is it that you will know your purpose and try your best to fulfill that purpose within yourself, knowing that that's what you're meant to do, versus all of the pings from the outside world that try and push you off your trajectory. It's always a balancing act. Like, I meant to be here 10 minutes ago, you know?
However, 10 minutes ago, had you been coming down the road, there could have been an accident.
Absolutely.
So there's a reason. you were 10
Absolutely.
minutes late.
There's a reason she's always.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Always. We love you.
What is wrong with me, seriously?
See, the part of this that I struggle with, and it's kind of what you're touching on and kind of what we've all been touching on. And I shared with some of you, if anybody watches my Spirited Healing page, like in the video about what was I going to do about the Women's March,
That was
focusing on what I want to create is important, not what do I not want to create. And I don't know how to respond to this situation that's happening right now. I don't know how to respond for these people who are being deported and detained. I don't know how to respond because I don't want to focus on what is happening, because what is happening is awful. So what do? I hold that place of peace and love. But thinking about this Bodhisattva law, that I'm transcending, I don't know, what does it say here? Transcended the need of earthly incarnations, but has chosen to return to the earth to support others in achieving their enlightenment. So if I'm ignoring it or not responding directly to it, what is the impact of that? If we
ignoring it if you're praying for peace.
Not really. You're doing what you can in a way that you can. Mm-hmm. And does it have to be instant? We're in a world of instant gratification. And yes, people are suffering. But when you're looking at, I don't know how to respond, what does it need? Where does it say that it needs to be now?
Well, who's to say the people that are being detained are not learning a lesson as well?
Exactly.
Well, they definitely are, right? Like embodying the principle that we're all in the right place, the right time.
I think we need to go back to what is the gifts we've come here to share.
Okay.
Your gift. Sorry, I can hear my mom's voice right now because she used to talk about gifts all the time. You know, God-given gifts, and she always said to me, "My gift is praying. I can pray." And I'm going back to that right now. I'm thinking, you know what, your gift could be literally that. You know, holding the hope that this works out, holding that intention, trying to manifest. That could be your gift, rather than the person who goes right in there, you know, fighting like a lawyer, tooth and nail to get these people out. We all have something that we can do, even if it doesn't seem like we're doing a lot.
You gathered a bunch of people in one room to start thinking about it.
And hold that vision of the outcome that we really want to see.
Mhm.
Because where we focus our attention, right.
No, exactly. And that's why I'm so like, I don't want to be angry. But I'm really fucking angry. I really am.
But isn't that our ego wanting to control what other people do? We want.
Oh, I definitely want to control what he's done.
Oh, no, and quite
Give me the
honest,
helm.
yeah, like I mean, that's the thing, but to control what they do. But it's like, and that's how, in a way, their negative behavior gets you to focus on their negative behavior. But I know what you're saying. Focusing on the sunshine, whatever. When somebody's in a
Is it
middle of a
delusional?
hurricane.
Is it delusional to do that?
I don't know. That's the question I ask all the
Yeah.
time. Like, what are you supposed to do? How do you fix things?
You
And
need the delusion sometimes to keep your sanity to be able to do what you need to do to better the situation. I've learned that because I've gone down the spiral. And if you're going down a spiral yourself, you're not going to be any use to anybody else. You have to make sure your health is there first. Right? So anger, yes, it's good. It's going to fuel you to be able to
Create more love?
Yeah. Your anger is going to set a flame behind you. It sounds stupid, but it will. Your anger is going to light the fire to be able to care enough about the people that need the help, to love enough to help the people that need the help.
You don't have to be at every battle.
Yeah.
Was it yours? You did something, your video online that triggered so many other people who couldn't be there and maybe being themselves and not being able to go. You did something for others.
Can I ask where this video is?
Spirited Healing. So Facebook.
Spirited Healing?
Yeah, that's my business page.
Okay,
Yeah.
Spirited
I
Healing.
post a lot of videos there.
If you have a
Random
chance to go back
thoughts.
and watch to find it, I saw it that day after you posted it. I probably within an hour, and I was like, I needed like $10 to clean it. I was just like,
I need 10 bucks cleans before I post
I'm
it.
sure. But it was honestly, Michelle, was the most raw I've ever seen you, and that's saying a lot. Like you're very
Pretty much who I am all the time.
right? Yeah. But as soon as I turned the video on, I didn't know what you were going to say, but I could see it in your eyes through my phone.
Mhm.
I could see that there was something's up. Like it was just I had this overwhelming sense that something wasn't right with you.
Something was not right with the world.
And yeah, but you taught me a lesson in that, watching the video. And the way you were talking about how you want to go, but you also want to choose to take that time instead of going downtown and marching to create your Mala and build something out of love. And it was I could see the struggle going on in your mind.
It was huge.
Yeah.
All right, so let's come back to the law. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't mean for it to become the Michelle show. Shall we take on the next law? Do we feel like we've covered what we can in Bodhisattva? Should I read this again? Or shall we just move along peacefully? All right, so law number 7, the law of vibrational attainment. The entire universe operates on the same principle of vibrational energy. When Einstein discovered that matter is energy, he opened the door to merging science and metaphysics. Scientists have proved that energy cannot die, it can only transform. And by its very nature, energy must go forward or backwards. It cannot stand still, for to do so is stagnation, resulting in transformation. You are energy. Your skin, which appears solid, is actually trillions of swiftly moving molecules orbiting each other at a specific vibrational rate. A physical life rate you have earned in the past as a result of how harmoniously or disharmoniously you have lived your past lives and your current life up until this moment in time. When you are harmonious for a lifetime, you will have attained the highest vibrational rate, the God level.
Can you read that again, please?
I don't know if I can, Nancy.
How does energy go back?
So like think about if something is growing or if something is decaying.
Okay.
If something is positive, something is negative.
Right. Something is going forward, something is going back.
A reaction has a reaction.
What goes up?
We can keep going here. Cause and effect. I think that's the law we're talking about here. Okay, the universal law of vibrational attainment. The entire universe operates on the same principle of vibrational energy. When Einstein discovered that matter is energy, he opened the door to merging science and metaphysics. The scientists have proved that energy cannot die. It can only transform. And by its very nature, energy must go forwards or backwards. It cannot stand still, for to do so is stagnation, resulting in transformation. You are energy. Your skin, which appears solid, is actually trillions of swiftly moving molecules orbiting each other at a specific vibrational rate, a physical life rate that you earned in the past as a result of how harmoniously or disharmoniously you have lived your past lives and your current life up until this moment in time. When you are harmonious for a lifetime, you will have attained the highest vibrational rate, the God level. Where to begin, friends?
I think I'm almost there.
Oh, you're going to be 10 minutes late.
I like to make an entrance. Okay, that's what it comes down to.
Okay, so this part, do we need to talk about this part? Because Lindsay, you asked, what does it mean to go forward or backward? Energy must go forward or backward. It cannot stand still, for to do so is stagnation, resulting in transformation. Do we need to talk about that piece?
Well, it seems to imply that being stuck is when you transform, but I think it's when you're stuck and you can't stand it anymore is when you'll transform. Just being stagnant doesn't seem, I don't see how you, when you're in the stagnant state, how you transform then. Isn't it being in the stagnant state and then hitting the wall going, I can't stand this another second, and then you transform?
So let's take it back to last week's discussion in soul evolution. Whether you think it's happening or not, you are evolving in every moment. So even though you feel stuck and trapped, you are evolving.
So it's that would be when you pass away, and then you transform because your soul is now going to
Has evolved to the next point.
Yeah.
Whether it's to get out of the pit or to go farther into the pit. Transformation doesn't have to mean something beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I always think of transforming as enlightened, being enlightened, transforming, getting to a higher vibration and becoming enlightened. So I haven't thought of, okay, you're right, something could be transformed to something terrible.
It's just a neutral word.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about this part that your body is the result of your past lives and the life you've lived up until this moment. What does that mean?
Sorry, your body is the result of your past lives?
And how harmoniously or disharmoniously you lived in those lives and in this current life.
Doesn't that go back to karma?
Sounds like physical karma, doesn't it?
Physical karma. What you've experienced in previous lives, you may experience the opposite, so that you can learn the lesson in this one. I.e., if you murdered someone in a past life, you may be murdered in this, or you may be abused or tortured or go through something in this life as the lesson for what you...
In ancient religions, in ancient times, they believed that people who were born with physical deformities and disabilities was evidence of their bad past lives, that God was marking them as evil.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is saying?
No way. Because I don't...
I know, I find that repulsive.
No way. There's no way. Someone, that's inhuman. That's, that's not being a compassionate, unconditionally loving, peaceful, joyful soul.
Well, but maybe your job is to love them anyway.
You mean to love somebody who thinks somebody who has a physical challenge is evil?
Well, yeah. We got to love everybody. But I'm wondering, what is this saying here when it says your body, if the physical life rate, which I'm assuming is like our physical self, your body that you've earned in this life is a result of how harmonious or disharmonious you lived your past lives and your current life up until this point in time.
Is that just saying that your body is proof of how you lived in your past lives?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is that what it's saying?
To me, I think that's what it's saying. Like your physical body and how you're shaped or deformed, if you will, handicapped, whatever the case may be. I think it's trying to say that your physical body is the proof of your past lives, whether it be good or bad.
Is that like if you perceive yourself as beautiful or not?
Oh, is it perception? Oh, interesting layer.
Yeah, like, well, what if everyone, you know, thinks that you're gorgeous, but you think you're hideous? Which one wins?
Well, of course, it's going to be what you think,
Absolutely.
right?
I
You
think
trump everybody else.
I think the body's us. I think how we look, that's superficial. I don't actually think where we live, what vehicle we drive, how we look, I don't think that has anything to do with the true meaning of life. I think that's what our ego gets caught up in.
Mhm.
I have a better car, I have a better house, I'm slimmer, more beautiful, younger, whatever the case may be, more successful. Because it's really easy to love beautiful, successful people. Look at
Until you get to know them.
Look
You're
at,
like,
look at the worship of the Kardashians, the following that they
Right.
have. Oh, what, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there going, where's the
okay, so
substance?
you raise an interesting point. So perhaps
So-
when the author writes here, your physical life rate, perhaps your physical life rate is not your body.
I don't think it is.
Perhaps it is your health and intellect.
Or your vibration, where you are on that vibrational skip level. And because when you become more enlightened, you raise your vibration. And so if you've had a wonderful past life, maybe you come back with a higher level of vibration, sort of as you're already set,
That's your start point.
as your start point.
Wouldn't you go higher and higher every life?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
You can
Because
flip
energy moves
back.
forward or back. And so depending on whether you're learning a lesson moving forward or you're struggling and having pain and not recognizing, then you're moving backwards. I don't think vibration is fixed, personally. I mean,
And here it does say past lives, combination of past lives and how you are living your current life up until this moment.
and so because some people find enlightenment easier than other people, and some people, you know, some people you look at and you think they have everything that they would need, but they still make poor choices or they're non-enlightened or whatever. And so you kind of wonder where that comes from, right? Like that sort of nature versus nurture arguments, that sort of thing, like that internal piece, and why some people, you have a whole group of people and they're on a path or they experience something that's similar, and some people rise above it, or some people fall victim to it and sink lower. That to me would speak to the vibrations and how, I don't know, I have lots of thoughts.
It's a good topic.
To me, I never thought of going backwards. Like, to me, I always figured, you know, that you go up every time. Because no matter what, you're learning new.
Well, what if you don't
New
want
things.
to learn the lesson that you came here to learn in this life?
When you start, you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. In my personal path, I do agree with you to go forward on every aspect because, and everything you do, you learn.
I agree.
There's a lesson. I'm going to speak for myself. I've learned in the last 2 years. Life is fantastic. I know my girls are here, but it's fantastic. In every aspect, every way you look at it, I'm always learning something. And it's positive, and it's what I make it, positive. But when I first started, it wasn't like that. I would go forward 2 steps, I should, and I'd go back 1.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I
you go
agree with
forward one and step back two.
And when we step back, it's usually based on a choice that we're making.
Absolutely.
So it's a choice of how we look at the situation.
Mhm.
You know, because other people are always into coming in and out of your lives in a sense. So you end up in a business relationship or personal relationship, you certainly can't control them. And so, but it's about how we react to other events that take place that sometimes, for myself, sets me back. And then with my own, evolution, is my resilience to a setback. Because at some point in time, I'm like, what's that? And then you put yourself back in the path. But it's a conscious choice where we are, is being able to recognize where we are, and then moving.
So can I ask you a question? Does going backward mean like when we slide from being awake and a conscious co-creator to becoming a victim again? Because we'll have moments where we slide in and out of that, right? Where, oh, this magnanimous moment is happening because I'm ready for it. And fuck, I'm tired of this shit now. You will slide in and out of those,
When
right?
you have the fuck I'm tired of this shit moment, if you're awakening, you realize that it's only your reaction. That's all it is.
Right.
The
But
problem
what
is
I'm
not the
asking is
situation, the problem is your reaction.
is that the vibrational switchback? Like
Yeah, but
Mervet
you're
said,
still
do you
learning.
always go up, or do you have, like, I'm wondering, when you have that slide back into victimhood, woe is me, is that when you are decreasing your vibration?
I believe so.
But can't you at that moment?
Yeah.
Decreasing it? I disagree.
I don't think you should
I don't think you ever decrease it. Once you're going higher, you might step back. You realize you're aware of your feelings. They don't last as long as they used to.
You're not there for a year. Now
Yeah.
it's 10 minutes.
So you feel it, you own it, and you move on. Personal experience.
I think the vibration changes.
It might change.
Because it's still vibration, I agree. It's still vibration. So if I'm now thinking, because law of attraction, if I'm thinking, I'm a victim like sucks on that, I'm going to attract, I'm going to see it half empty versus the half full. So I agree, the vibration is still at whatever level it is, but I'm now bringing to me
It changes. It doesn't.
attracting. And then at some point, it's like, whoa, enough of this. Slow the pony down.
As a soul, as a soul, our sole purpose is love. But we have to remember that soul is wrapped up in a skeleton covered in meat. We live in the world. And that's still we're going to get hit with all the worldly shit. So our soul can be as loving as we want, but we still got to put up with world shit. So, sorry, girls. It's a fact of life. So until we move on, we have to deal with it. But if we can allow our soul to be the springboard, how we react is what's important. React, whatever arises, love that.
And it's the varying degrees of that reaction too, right?
That's what my boyfriend says.
I know he does. Half of it is mine.
You're married. What boyfriend?
Don't let Matt know.
A funny little man who makes a letter.
This has been a great discussion. We are running out of time here for discussion. Is there anything else that we need to say? Shall I read this again? Or shall we let this be that?
You can read it once more.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for the direction. The universal law of vibrational attainment. The entire universe operates on the same principle of vibrational energy. When Einstein discovered that matter is energy, he opened the door to merging science and metaphysics. The scientists have proved that energy cannot die, it can only transform, and by its very nature, energy must go forward or backwards. It cannot stand still, for to do so is stagnation, which results in transformation. You are energy. Your skin, which appears solid, is actually trillions of swiftly moving molecules orbiting each other at a specific vibrational rate. A physical life rate that you have earned in the past as a result of how harmonious or disharmonious you have lived your past lives and your current life up until this moment in time. When you are harmonious for a lifetime, you will have attained the highest vibrational rate, the God level. And that is that. Any final thoughts?
I like that.
It's a nice thing to close on for sure.
I kind of think of Reiki when I hear that, actually.
You think of?
Reiki.
Ah.
How that would affect that, or if it even does.
I'm sure it would.
We'll have to explore that more later. Thank you for joining us. It has been wonderful having this discussion with you. And we will see you next week. Bye.